very important things I gotta discuss. To whoever's fucking reading this, I've done some bad things. I wrote some things I shouldn't have and dealt with what it brings. But life's too much, I give up, I quit. Is there anyone who even listens to the words I spit? I let my brain matter, scatter like pancake batter. I had her at hello, I made sure that she was safe even if she stubbed her toe. Used and abused and tossed to the side. What have I become, man? I just wanna hide. I knew it all along, you motherfucking lied. And this was the woman who I made my fucking bride. You hurt my pride, held the world on your shoulder, but it didn't even matter cause my world got colder. I quit my job, I gave up on what's true, but never forget that I fucking love you. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter, my suicide letter.
Well, maybe I'm a selfish asshole for ending it like this. You were always so supportive, I got lost inside a mist. So I'm sorry that my sorrow was impossible to swallow. Underneath it all, I always knew the path my life would follow. I've been choking on the thought of waking up again tomorrow, constantly reminded that the noise I make is ringing hollow. I've been calling out for help, no one ever seems to notice. Dosages are still increasing, losing focus, growing hopeless, echoing the broken record that's repeating in my head. Let go, nothing matters when you're dead. Every day is making me into a bigger disappointment to a world that thinks that I simply exist for its enjoyment. Tell me something beautiful and I'll write it out in blood. Everything we owe is dying, recollection is another word for love.
This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter, my suicide letter.
As I sit here, I just start to write. What's the reason that I cannot fall asleep at night? There must be something wrong, it causes frustration. That's why I tried to overdose on my medication, but it didn't work. But I enjoy the pain, I feel no shelter like I'm living in the rain. I'm feeling so insane, and man it's so strange the way I cut myself and watch the blood leak out my veins. But there's a story, see, it wasn't only me. I lay down in the cemetery, wonder what it's like to be so far, far away. And what I mean to say, my whole life is empty, emotions seem to run astray. So in these last rhymes, for the last time, I feel like the world can hear me as I'm writing lines. See the pages full, I hope this gives you closure. There won't be any more crime because the murder's over.
This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter. This is my suicide letter, my suicide letter, my suicide letter.